Hey guys, so today's video is a bit of a special edition. Um, I, as I've stated before, do not consider myself an influencer. I will never try to just influence you to buy stuff just so I can get free stuff, any weird stuff like that. I consider myself a content creator, but more of a person who creates stuff and then makes content to talk about the stuff they created so that other people can create stuff too, but that's too long of a name, so we're gonna go with content creator. And so usually when companies message me if they want me to, receive free product in exchange for a review, it depends. Most of the time, in fact almost all of the times except for one now, I've said no thank you, simply because when you get down to it, if it's not an item that is something I would go out and spend my money on and purchase, um, it's probably not something I'm going to be interested enough in order to give like a really honest, in-depth review of, or try to, I don't know, like it's very hard to talk about stuff you're just not interested in. And so I usually don't say yes to that, mostly because also I don't have a lot of free time. Especially now that I'm working all the time, the free time that I do have is usually spent playing Animal Crossing, hanging out with my cat, and trying to make my feet stop hurting from being at work all day. Uh, and that's about to get worse because Amazon has a second Prime Day coming up in October, and then we're on that like downhill slide to Christmas. And so they have actually upped the amount of hours that we'll be working using mandatory overtime, which means we can't turn it down, say no thank you, I don't want to do it, whatever. And they're going to make us start going in an hour earlier, so we'll work 11-hour days instead of 10. So I will have even less time for stuff. And so I definitely probably won't be making videos of anything at all with my luck, but not of things that I'm not just like desperately like, oh, this is amazing. So on that note, recently Ruby Red Fashion Friends is a brand made by Ruby Red Toys, and they're really cute little dolls. Honestly, they're not something that I would go out and buy on my own. It's not something I would have even really probably taken notice of, honestly. They wrote me and they asked if I'd be interested in reviewing their product, and originally, almost immediately, I was like, I'm probably gonna write them back and tell them, it's cool, no thank you. And they sent me a link to their website. I clicked on it and I read what their doll, like what the situation was with the creation of these dolls, and it caught my interest because I thought about it. I was like, when I was a child, if this was something offered, I would have absolutely just pooped bricks. I would have been over the moon, thought it was the coolest thing ever. And adult me, honestly, would probably still think it was really cool. So that's a thing. So I actually wrote them and I was like, you know what? I would love to receive one of your products as a gift in exchange for doing a review because I am very curious about this product. So here's what we're looking at. They sent me one of their dolls. I'm going to show you this side of the package so you don't see my address because nobody needs that. These are called, it was a Create Your Dream doll. Okay, and I don't know any of us doll collectors who would not love to sit down and create our dream doll. Moreover, let me read you a little bit about this company right quick because this is where it's going to get you. It doesn't matter of your age, and it's not US exclusive. In fact, I'm going to say those two things first so you don't wander off. If you have ever wanted to design your own dream doll to like whatever degree the basis that they use, and you thought, well, but I'm too old to enter all these competitions because they're always for kids, or oh, I don't live in the US and companies only cater to US residents, I'm going to read you what I saw on their website that caught my interest and made me think, all right, yeah, I'd like to see this. So Create Your Dream Doll was created by Ruby Red Toys in fall of 2021, and then they had this competition. It was a children's design competition, and they picked the winners, and then the 3 winners went on to create the very first 4 Ruby Red Fashion dolls, because it was 2 individual dolls and then a set of twins. And then those dolls were created in the summer of 2022 and released to the public. So those three lucky winners got not only their doll created and got the doll, like they also received a doll, but then their design of their doll was released for other people to purchase as well. So not only do they get like this really awesome feeling of knowing that they're holding a doll they made, but that other people out there were also holding a doll they made. So that's actually really cool if you think about it. Like, some other kid out there is playing with a doll that you created. Like, I don't know, that would definitely encourage me as a child artist to want to grow up and keep trying. But on top of that, their design team really kind of fell in love with the idea and with all of the creativity and like the cool submissions that they received, and they decided they wanted to keep doing this. Like, they could have said, okay, well, that was the competition, buy our stuff and we're never going to do it again. But they actually said, well, you know what? This was a really good idea. And a lot of people entered, a lot of people had fun. We had fun. So let's keep it up. Now, I honestly think it's really cool because they could have just been like, well, okay, we created a couple of dolls. We garnered some attention for ourselves. Let's just drop it and leave it at that. But they didn't. And now they've decided to do this, and the competition is open to the public. Like I said, it does not appear to be US only, so our friends in various other countries can finally join in on something fun, because they tend to get ignored a lot. But that's a thing that happens, and there's no age restriction. So even me at 42 years old could hop on their website, print off the little design picture, and they have a little thing where you can write a story about your doll, and could, draw something up and submit it. And so that's kind of super cool, because a lot of this stuff is always aged towards children, and so collectors frequently get left out, which is, it's always kind of hurtful from doll companies when we get left out, because we spend so much money, so very much money. And so to, usually be ignored by things like, doll brands will give clothes for children and shoes for children and cool other little accessories for adults get nothing. I'm not really salty about it, just a little. Like, I know children are the target audience. I respect that. I understand it. But I'm still a little salty that, like, I can't just go out and buy the Rainbow High Crocs in my adult size. I have, like, big adult feet, so I'm not going to fit in even the largest size children's shoe. Like, that's a thing. All right, so I'm actually going to leave you guys a link in the description for their website, so that you can go on and read it yourself, check it out, see what you think. Maybe you want to submit something. Fingers crossed that somebody wins. Like, I would definitely love to hear about it if one of you do. And again, you would receive, if you won, a copy of your doll, and a certificate, of course, and then the possibility that your doll will be created as one of the Ruby Red Fashion Friend dolls, like the Create Your Own Dream Doll dolls, and sold to the public. The only thing they ask is that all of your creations are obviously your own, nothing plagiarized, copied, whatever. Just so that if it is something that wins, it has the potential to be made without legal troubles. So we're gonna go ahead and open her up. I'm gonna show you guys my Create Your Dream Doll Ruby Red Fashion Friend. All right, you guys, so first things first, I'm gonna show you the box. So here are some of the fashion friends that I could choose from. They're on the box, and so you can see them. They're all really cute, honestly. I kind of had trouble choosing, because I was like, so I love a lot of these designs. I Like I said, I tend to collect mostly fashion dolls specifically. And I mean, I'm not saying that like Rainbow High isn't wholesome, or LOL OMG doesn't have its own wholesomeness in a lot of ways, especially with their shows. But this is probably a lot more wholesome than I would normally glance at a grocery store, like if I were walking through the toy aisle or whatever. So I was like, I really want to pick one that like I love the vibe of. Like, I want to be able to say, okay, I'm definitely interested in pulling this out of the box. So the one I actually picked was right here. It was Clara with like her cool dress. Honestly, I'd wear that. I actually had trouble choosing between her and, let's see, Marina. I thought Marina was really pretty. Or Jeanette. My daughter-in-law loved Jeanette, so very hard to choose, but I ended up picking Clara because they had like a thing with her, like sitting with a book or whatever, and I was like, I love to read, Clara seems to love to read, she's very fashionable, so that is who I'm going to choose. So, like I said, here's the box for the Create Your Own Dream Doll. And like I said, they have the designs on the sides. And they have a boy, so that is something neat. And then I know that one of the ones that won the competition was a set of twins that were a boy and a girl. So, you know, if your dream doll is a boy doll, just know that that is absolutely still a possibility. It doesn't just have to be, oh, here's a pretty girl doll. So here she is, and she's got porcelain doll vibes, honestly. Which porcelain dolls are really beautiful. I've just always found them to be very like old-fashioned. So to kind of see like this little semi-modern looking girl, I was like, okay, this is really cute. And I pulled her out, and my daughter-in-law was like, oh my gosh, like that's so cute, it's really pretty, you know. And so we looked on the box together at like the pictures of, you know, the drawings. Look at those little shoes, little toes. All right, I'm gonna pop her open out of this box right quick, and then we will look her over a bit closer. I definitely think that this is, like I said, it's kind of out of my wheelhouse because it's not one of like the more American styled fashion dolls, like, you know, Bratz and, like I said, Rainbow High, stuff like that. So I'm kind of curious as to, sorry, trying to open this is, I have no fingernails. Like, I keep them really, really short because I found that when I tried to grow them out long, like even a little bit, they'd get caught under boxes, like in my gloves, because my gloves are too big at work. And so now I can't open stuff very well. All right, here we go. But I'm very curious to see like her overall body size and proportions. Like if I wanted to redress her in clothes that I already have for other dolls, like would I be able to, that sort of thing. Check out hair fiber. I am not one of those people who is like super excellent at guessing hair fibers. I mean, I feel like with poly you just kind of know, but yeah, like I know Rainbow High and Nylon, so they have a nicer feeling hair, that kind of stuff, but I'm just not super knowledgeable about it. So I just want to get that out there, but I'll basically tell you if she has nice hair or not. I can't tell you, you know, much more than that. Oh my goodness. I have to glue on my fake nails because this isn't even like a hard thing to do. Look, you guys, I'm literally just picking at the edges of tape and untaping the little, I don't know what they're called, the weird little plasticky tabs that they put in all dolls to hold them in boxes. Like every brand uses them. I don't, they have a name, right? Well, my tummy just growled so hard. I just realized I haven't eaten dinner yet because I was like, I want to open doll. She's been sitting on my kitchen table for like a week now, waiting for her review because work was honestly insane. Okay, and there's so sorry guys. I should just put this on my hand so you can stare at them as I like struggle and fight. So inside of her box is this, and it shows her story and her design, and it tells you, you know, the name of the person who designed her and where they're from. This doll was designed by someone in France, so that's really cute. Let's see. So sorry, my tummy is rumbling so loud. I just want to go have a nice warm bowl of soup when I'm done with this. Okay, so here's the front of the book without the glare. You can see her drawing. Right, and then they tell us Clara's story. And then, you know, we have the little follow your fantasy thing on the back that tells you, you know, do you want to design your own doll? Go to their website and whatnot. Clara's story is that she lives in a small western coastal village in France, and she especially loves walking on the beach where she commonly waits for the sunset to indulge in one of her passions, guitar, surrounded by her closest friends. She also likes reading a lot, mainly novels. Me too. As Clara is a big dreamer and she loves to escape through these stories, each one more captivating than the others. I don't know about you guys, but getting lost in a good book, that's me. And I do love going to the beach. Not so much playing guitar. I don't have musical vibes. I am terribly, terribly tone deaf. Alright, I'm going to very carefully cut these little tabs so I can get her out. They're not wrapped as tightly as like the Rainbow High ones where you kind of struggle to clip them without like clipping off a finger or a chunk of hair or anything like that. These are actually loosely enough and away from her that I feel comfortable like nipping her out of the box without risking hurting her. So here's the box. It comes with one of those little things to make sure they stay dry. Because I know you guys remember that whole like Rainbow High where they had mildew on the clothes from like, I guess, where they were shipped or whatever. So at least I know she's not going to have any of those problems. Okay, so even though she has like porcelain vibes, she is soft plastic. Not like soft, but like, I mean, she's plastic. And let's see, does she have... Okay, she has your usual articulation joints. So shoulders, hips, and then, I mean, her neck turns. So, I mean, of course, you guys know, if I buy a doll, it is almost always for the articulation. That is a huge selling point for me. So, again, that would probably be one of the reasons why I wouldn't necessarily have looked at these dolls if I saw them in a store, outside of the fact that I think that the actual, like, story behind them is really cool. Like I said, if I were a kid and I got to design my own doll, I would have been absolutely over the moon. I would have just thought that, like, I was the coolest artist in the whole world, and it probably would have even more encouraged me to continue with my art. Like, it would have been... I can't even imagine. It was probably a very amazing feeling for the kids who won. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, even now, if I were to do that, it would be cool. Okay, so she has a little hairnet on to keep her hair in place. And I have one more piece, like a little piece of tissue to get off of her. Like, they've really wrapped her with care. I will say that, but not to the point where it's just a pain in the butt to get out. You know, I really appreciate the box on this. I don't get to say that often enough, just because, I mean, it's a nice, simple box. Obviously, you know, boxes in stores nowadays would have plastic right here, but it doesn't have a lot of waste, which is really desirable, because I know I've talked about this in quite a few videos before. Like, opening dolls, modern, like, you know, American fashion dolls, really just wears me out. Like, it is such a huge chore that sometimes I'll just leave them sitting around for a while until I build up enough energy to open them all at once. And I don't really get to enjoy the process of opening them because it is just so much effort and there's so much waste. And I'm taking, you know, a huge, like, huge monster trash bag out to the trash cans every week for the garbage people, like, and then I gotta separate other stuff into the recycling bin so I can recycle it. And whew, talking about it makes me tired. So to have a doll come in a relatively simple box, it doesn't require a lot of waste, that doesn't require a lot of, like, exhaustion to open, is a plus for me. Like that, and, you know, that's a nice thing. So I will say the dress is really, really nice quality. I mean, it's a very simple, like, probably cotton fabric, but it feels durable. It feels like it's not going to, you know, fall apart. She's got her Velcro in the front. We're not going to flash everybody, but her body is like a solid piece. Like, nice torso. She does have little underpants on. And then here are her shoes. These are like really nice quality leather. They've got little Velcro straps, so they're easy to take on and off. If you're like me and you have arthritis in your fingers and you're not trying to sit there and mess with little buckles or ties, these are kind of a pleasant thing. These are like really well-made doll shoes too. Like, I'm surprised because I'm just kind of used to like a big chunky piece of plastic. But like, these are okay. Okay, so like, I mean, that's really nice. Oh, just so you guys can see, she has little little toes. Okay, so I will say her skin is so pale, like that she's almost translucent, like with the plastic. Like she like almost glows when I hold her up to the light. So that is a thing, but she doesn't feel, she feels light, but like sufficient. Like she doesn't feel super fragile. She doesn't feel like, oh, if I drop her, she's gonna break or anything like that. I mean, the hair is like the thinner, inexpensive stuff. It is not like, nylon like Rainbow High hair, I don't think. But it doesn't feel like, do you know when we get like the Monster High dolls and they have like the really cheap hair so it feels scratchy? It doesn't feel like that. It's really soft, really silky. She doesn't have like a whole lot of flyaway pieces. But I mean, her hair's not like super curly either. Like I've already run my fingers through it. It's got a nice wave to it, but it's not, super curly. But it feels nice. I mean, her bangs are cut really even. I mean, I know that every time I go to buy like a Rainbow High doll or an OMG doll, my first thought is how butchered are their bangs. With this doll, like, it's not like that. I mean, they're nicely layered, they're soft, there's no gel, no, a lot of that stuff that we're used to in dolls currently. Her face is really sweet and pleasant. It's well painted. Like, I mean, obviously it's very plain. There's not a lot to it. She doesn't even have like lower lashes, for instance. So it would be hard pressed to mess up paint. But especially, like I said, we've been going through a cycle of just having trouble finding certain doll brands without having messy faces. And so to get a doll that already has like a perfect face, no smudges, all the lashes are there, the lips are even, she's got a light amount of blush and it's on the same spot on both cheeks, like just that stuff that we've kind of found it to be troublesome to look for anymore in other doll brands. It's kind of nice to just pull a doll out of the box and they kind of have all of that. So real quick, I'm going to pull some other clothes out and see what she can wear. She is really sturdy and thick. Like, I mean, she's pretty thick. She doesn't have that deep curve in her back like we're used to a lot of American fashion dolls and that sort of thing. So she's definitely more of like a child's playland doll. Like you could feel comfortable letting your child play with this and know that they probably aren't going to hurt themselves with it or anything like that. But then I don't know, she probably look cute standing on a shelf. I mean, she's about Rainbow High height. I'll show you guys here just a second. Let me dig some clothes up that she can try on. Okay, yeah, so I attempted to try a couple of things on her. Obviously, Rainbow High doesn't really fit. She's quite a bit thick for that. I didn't have any dolls that she could share like pants or anything with, but Barbie, she might if it's stretchy material. Like the structured shirt fit her, but didn't quite Velcro all the way up. If it were a stretchy like t-shirt or something, it would probably fit. Same with stretchy skirts. Like this is just a little Barbie dress, and you can see like it almost closes all the way in the back, but she's got quite a wide waist. They do share very similar like torso length, which was a usual. Obviously, she's not sharing shoes with any other dolls that I have, so wow, my tummy's growling loud. What the heck? I am so sorry for that. But yeah, she is not going to share shoes with anybody. I think if you wanted to be able to swap shoes, swap clothes, either you're going to need to know how to sew, or you're going to be into other brands of dolls, obviously I don't have here, or you're going to have to buy more than one of the Create Your Own Dream doll. So that's a thing. As far as her clothes, they didn't fit Rainbow High, which they're the closest in terms of like thickness to her. The shoulders were like, the torso is too long, so the shoulders sat like up here above her shoulder. Barbie has the closest in torso length, but maybe curvy Barbie would fit, but as you can tell, it's a little wide. With like a little pinch in, it could be a really cute dress for them to share, but yeah, other than that, like I just don't have anybody here that's even remotely close to stuff that she could wear. But if I could sew, and I really did want to learn how, like I had absolutely planned once the kids went back to work and Bear got his schedule in check and I was going to be home, that I was going to learn to sew, make doll clothes, live a happy life, grow old. And then on a whim, I decided to get a job, and now I'll have time for none of that. I have the money, but no time. And unfortunately, in this day and age, if you're going to do fun stuff, you need both of those things. So I would say if dressing dolls itself is something that you really like to do, you're going to need more than one of these, or you're going to need those sewing skills. Overall, I would definitely recommend her to people who appreciate a more wholesome look. I would definitely say for folks who can sew, who like making doll clothes, she would make an excellent model. But for your average American, like, fashion doll fanatic, like, if you only really appreciate things like Bratz, OMG, Rainbow High, Monster High, those kinds of things, she's probably not going to catch your interest. But I do think that if you have kids, or if you think that the concept of designing your own doll just sounds really amazing, or if you just like this type of doll, overall she's really, really pretty. I mean, the quality is nice, it's nothing to complain about. On the point of price point, and this is where it might get you, because while she is really cute, for a lot of us, dropping $40 on a doll, it's a lot. And dropping $40 on a doll such as this, when we're used to things like Rainbow High, where they came with like 2 outfits and 2 pairs of shoes and accessories and this and that, you're probably not going to want to do the $39.99 plus shipping with her. I think that if you entered in, you designed your own dream doll, and, you know, whatever, that maybe. But I feel like for a lot of folks, like $40 right now, with the economy the way it is, with grocery store bills being the way they are, like, I don't know about you guys, but I get like absolute anxiety every time I roll up to the checkout counter. Like, and it's not even like that I don't have the money. It's that, do I really want to buy what should have been $100 worth of groceries for like $350? Not really. And there are plenty of other people out there who don't have the money like that. So I do feel like the price point may be steep for the audience I'm speaking to. Not even gonna lie. Most of us didn't want to pay like $40 for the costume ball dolls, and they were the most desirable thing in the community for a while there. So, that is something to take into consideration, but I will leave a link down to their shop as well. All of the all of the dolls they have are in stock currently, so you don't have to worry about, well, I really like this one, but they don't have it right now, that kind of thing. If nothing else, I would definitely go and submit a cool drawing and see what happens. I think that that could be really fun, even if it's just a way to blow off steam on a rainy day because you have nothing else to do, whatever. I think that the concept behind them is a really, really fun one. Um, Honestly, I may have to buy a second one just so that she has someone else to sit on the shelf with, because I'd feel really bad if, like, she was just sitting up there by herself. But I'm gonna find a spot for her because I do think she is really cute. Like I said, it's not something that if I saw it in the store with a $40 price tag, I'd probably walk past, because I like dolls with lots of makeup and fancy, like, modern fashion. But I do think these dolls are really sweet. Like I said, I mean, I would give them a 6 out of 10 for me. A 6 because, like, they're cute. I like the packaging. I like, the quality of the shoes. The quality of the dress is nice. The face is really sweet, and it's really well painted for what little there is on it. The price point gets me, and the fact that they're not really what I would normally collect get me. But other than that, I think that if this is the kind of thing you like, you'd probably be really happy with them. Alright, guys. Well, that is all from me and Miss Clara. I'm gonna go find her some cool accessories to hang out with, like maybe a little doll-sized acoustic guitar or some cute books or something, so that she's not just sitting on the shelf by herself with nothing to play with or hang out with. And I will see you guys next video.